I'm not gonna lie, Jayson Tatum was really impressive in Boston's Game 3 win over Cleveland last night, because after they lost Game 2 in blowout fashion, I at least started to wonder, like, okay, is this a problem? Is this something we're gonna have to worry about with Boston? 64-win juggernaut, expected to breeze through the entire Eastern Conference, just lost Game 2 at home. Uh, is that a problem? Is this a sign of things to come, or is this just a blip on the radar? Are they gonna flip a switch? Something like that. And so you head to Game 3 in Cleveland, pivotal game, because you lose this one, sirens really start to sound, because now the Cavs have a chance to go up 3-1 on their home court. But Tatum really answered the call. 33 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists. I'm going to point out some of the bad. He did shoot only 11-25 from the field, 44%, not great. 5 turnovers to those 6 assists, also not great. But, it's funny, the criticism of Tatum has felt so forced in these playoffs where, he's not, his numbers haven't been great. He hasn't put up like in a playoffs where Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards are doing this like historic Superman level stuff. Tatum's just been sort of floating through, sort of coasting through, because evidently he can, or at least that's maybe, something you might think. So yeah, it just sort of depends on what your view of Jayson Tatum is, where is he just coasting, and is he waiting for when he actually has to flip the switch for him to actually do that and elevate his play to, superstar caliber, top 5 caliber player that we all know he could be? Or is this just sort of who he is in the biggest moments? I always thought it was the former, because a lot of people talk about that Jayson Tatum's not so good, he's overrated, he's not successful. Because he doesn't have a ring, he's not successful. The dude who's made a bunch of all-star appearances, all-NBA, conference finals, made an NBA finals at 22 years old, that dude isn't successful, that dude isn't elite. It was just such a stupid argument. Like, this is Jayson Tatum. You might take some guys over him, like a Luka, like a Jokic, but like, this dude is undoubtedly one of the 10 best players in the NBA. And so it was that question of which one is it? Is he really that guy? Or, is he not? And he answered the call in this Game 3. Put the Celtics back in the driver's seat, gave them home court advantage back, and it was impressive for those reasons, because this was a game I think definitely wasn't a must-win, but it was sort of a, hey, let's sort of squash any concerns anyone might have about us. And it also makes you realize that, like, hey, maybe Jayson Tatum, he sort of has been coasting a little bit, conserving energy, not, giving his all, not because he can't, but because, it just hasn't been needed yet. And I think, because you consider they play a Miami team that was without Jimmy Butler, it's hard to take them fully seriously as much as you respect them and the Heat culture. You play a Cleveland team that, needed 7 games to beat a young and inexperienced Magic team, so you might take them not as seriously off the jump. But once Cleveland won that game too, I think the switch might have flipped within Tatum, and to his credit, I think this is what superstars do, is they play up to the moment and they do what's required from the moment. And Jayson Tatum really did that and stepped up in Game 3. And Boston now has regained home court advantage and control of the series because of it.